Serious, what is a little known fact that can save you from a life-threatening situation? In the extremely unlikely event you are attacked by a swarm of bees, most adults can typically just outrun them. Especially if you run into the wind. Do not stop running. Some bees will chase you for up to a quarter mile. Do not try to hide underwater. They will wait for you to come up for air. Beekeeper checking in, Western honeybees are generally docile. The exception is when they feel the hive is in danger. Their first response is headbutting, running into you. After that they will sting. When they sting they release an alarm pheromone which can increase the defensive behavior significantly. Non-Africanized honeybees rarely will follow chase you further than 30-50 ft from the hive. Do not swat your arms. Also try to remain calm and always cover your face. They sense the CO2 from your breath and will target that area. Africanized honeybees will chase you much further and their attack is more fierce. As someone else mentioned, do not go into a body of water as they will wait you out. If you're fighting a kangaroo, as you do, punch the kangaroo as hard as you possibly can. And don't run. Running shows fear and then the kangaroo knows it can beat you. The reason why you punch is because, in a kangaroo's mind, any kick is way stronger than any punch. Let's say 10x stronger, I don't know exactly. So if you punch them hard enough, they'll back down because they'll think you can kick them 10x harder than that. If you didn't punch them hard enough, well, you're fucked. If you have to sleep in a car, you can loop your seatbelt through your door handle loop and click it in for extra security. Learned that from a truck driver. Know where the exits are. Absolutely a top answer. Anytime you walk into a building, you should always find all the exits and have an idea of how to reach them in case of an emergency. Which one is closest? If that one is blocked, which is the next best option? Etc. People commonly say not to make eye contact with people in sketchy places. However, eye contact takes away the element of surprise, which is often an attacker's first weapon advantage. My colleagues comment that I always walk with purpose, like I'm on a mission. They don't know it's because my dad taught me to be confident AF before going to college. You're less likely to be messed with that way. In the case of an abduction, your best bet is to scatter some of your belongings, like an ID, on the ground. The possibility of tracking you down becomes that much greater that way. If you are confronted by someone wanting to abduct you, run. And run like hell. If they try to kill you for running, they were almost certainly going to kill you anyway. So your best bet is to just take off and hope they move on to someone else. A couple different things for different situations. If you're stabbed and the knife is still in, don't take it out. It's plugging a wound and stopping you from leaking. If you're stuck outside in the cold, especially if you're lost, stay in place and try to stay out of the wind. Stationary people are easier to find. Also, no matter how warm you suddenly feel, keep your clothes on. Your body flash processes glucose in a last-ditch effort to keep warm right before you freeze to death. And it can make you feel unbearably hot if you've been freezing for the last couple hours. Above all else, if you can't remember anything else, calm people live. Panicked people die. Double quote. If you haven't been in a fight since 6th grade, you're probably not going to win a fight with an adult stranger. Never let them take you to a second crime scene. If they're trying to abduct you, and you let them, the kidnapping becomes murder 99% of the time. Fight like hell no matter what. If you see a huge explosion in the distance, you've got 1-2 seconds before you will be hit by the shock wave. You can protect yourself from the shock wave by turning away from the explosion, exhaling, and keeping your mouth open to help equalize the pressure. It's the same as lightning. Since you don't have the luxury of just seeing when the shockwave hits, assume you have only 1-2 seconds, and close your eyes. Drink when you're thirsty. Too many travelers die of thirst while literally carrying water. Rationing water may be appealing, but it's always important to drink regularly. A chair makes an excellent shield weapon. Unless you have training, don't try to rescue someone drowning by swimming to them. Use something to reach out for them to grab onto. They will grab onto you out of fear and not let go, and you may drown with them. If a panicked drowning person grabs you, swim down. They'll let go when you start pulling them under. If you think you may be having a heart attack, take an aspirin. Actual aspirin. Like Bayer. Don't just take it. Make sure to chew it up. Your mucous membranes will absorb it much faster than your stomach. A lot of people find it appealing to have a weapon on them, and that's a personal choice I won't go into lol. If you choose to, whether it's a knife, or a gun, or pepper spray, know how to use it. You will be amazed how quickly your knife can be turned on you if you don't know what you're doing with it. I also heard a piece of advice that is sad, but probably effective mo. If you're getting robbed or attacked or whatever, don't just scream or yell for help. Scream and yell, "Help my child." Yes, even if you don't have a kid. That's more likely to draw someone's attention. Especially if you're a man calling for help. Hope this helps someone. This is something that happened to me a few years ago. After a week of heavy drinking, me and some friends were in the back of a car heading home. We were sleeping off our hangovers when I reached over groggily and gulped down a few gulps of my water. It took me a couple of seconds to realize the water was blue. In fact, it was actually antifreeze in a water bottle that he had kept in the back. Antifreeze is tasteless and so is actually easy to drink. I immediately panicked and let everyone know I'd just drank poison. We pulled over and I tried to make myself sick repeatedly, but I couldn't due to my adrenaline even with fingers down my throat. I recalled in my college biology class that antifreeze itself isn't poisonous. It's what it breaks down into. If you can drink something that stops that from happening, then you're okay. I distinctly remember my teacher telling me that alcohol gets a priority pass when ingested after antifreeze, and you should immediately drink it if this crazy situation should occur. I ran to the boot and started chugging straight alcohol that was left over from the weekend. I think I drank a half bottle of whiskey, which was probably too much. At the hospital they actually gave me a tiny bottle of Smirnoff, I think. I was quite hammered the rest of the way back, singing songs in the car while my mates all had bad headaches. My hangover was delayed for a day and probably a lot worse, but at least I didn't die. If you get caught in a rip current, swimming against it will tire you out. Swim parallel to the beach until it weakens enough for you to escape and swim to shore. I like to add to this. If you are with someone who keeps trying to swim straight in, urge them to swim diagonally at least, because they may be more receptive to that direction. Speaking from experience. A hug can be a temporary cure for depression. Especially from someone that loves a depressed person. It's saved my life so many times. If a high voltage power line falls near you, stepping away from it may kill you, as they may carry more than 100,000 volts. One large step may put your front foot at a place where the voltage is much lower. If the difference is high enough, the insulation from your shoes may be too low to prevent the voltage from passing through and killing you. Prevent this by shuffling away using tiny steps. This minimizes the voltage difference between your feet. Pack lots of cloths in your car during winter and keep your car well maintained. Not so much lots of clothes. Do pack good, warm socks, tried and true hiking boots, so you know you can walk extensively in them, a warm hat that actually blocks wind from your ears, a coat of course, and pants that can fit over whatever pants you may happen to be wearing. Also too, it is always good to keep a heavy duty flashlight, small toolbox, extra gas, jumper cables, tire gauge, etc. in your car. I've even heard of keeping a little prepaid flip phone, contact numbers already stored of course, in your car. Just on the off chance that your phone won't work, you have a little burner to reach emergency services. One more. If the cops invite you to come down to talk, say no. The minute they tell you they are taking you, shut up, other than you want a lawyer. Even if you are 100% innocent. Period. There are no gray areas to this. Remember what the Miranda warning says. Anything you say can and will be used against you. They will never use what you say to your advantage, only to harm you. So don't say anything. Don't do cocaine in Charleston. Most is laced with fentanyl. If you do cocaine in one of the source countries, use about half or less than what you normally use, as it may be pure. Outside of these countries it's almost always 50%. Take a basic life support class. 3 hours and around $60 will teach you CPR, how to use an automatic external defibrillator, ED, and the proper way to perform the Heimlich maneuver. They teach adult, pediatric, and infant BLS in one course. I've had my BLS card for 4 years, and I've had to use my knowledge 6 times. Worth it. Edited for the class title. Thanks for catching that for me, fellow Redditor. If you think you're being followed while walking outside, pretend to get a call and respond normally and say something along the line that you'll meet soon. In the same scenario, if you approximately know the person is slightly further behind and you round a corner, run like an idiot to a more crowded or safer place. Go into a shop, bus, a group of people. Hell, even ring someone's doorbell if you have to and ask to call the police. Absolute worst case scenario if it's in the middle of the night and nobody is out, and someone is following you. Smash kick someone's car so it sounds a loud alarm. It could scare the stalker off. Call the assailant Frederick. It'll access a different part of their brain to try and correct you, which is far away from the antagonistic part. If they correct you, just say, "Didn't you just say your name was Frederick?" And after that, you're on your own. Awareness is a tool. Use it. When you walk into a place you've never been, take note of everything around you. When you meet someone new, pay attention to them. When things are sketchy in any way, pay attention to them. If you keep attention at all times, you'll rarely be surprised by anything. If you think you hear someone outside your house at night, your instinct will be to turn all the lights on. You should in fact turn them all off for 2 reasons. First, with the lights off he can't see where you are or what you are doing. Second, you know your way around your house in the dark way better than he does. And if he gets in, this works to your advantage. Tell your daughters. If someone is coming at you in a threatening kidnapping vibe, pull out your phone and say Facebook Live, and there's a good chance they'll walk away. Since it's live streaming, you don't have to actually fidget to get FB Live up and streaming. Just say that you are. Please do if you're capable. It saved my 38-year-old cousin from getting kidnapped while out walking her dog. She learned it from a 14-year-old girl, friends with her parents, who was also almost kidnapped. Don't jog with loud music playing on your headphones earbuds. Many people die from not being able to hear cars etc. Yes. I was jogging this summer on a residential road and I almost got run over because I didn't hear or see a car backing out of a driveway. Please be careful. I'm just a second, your life can change. Possibly for the worse. If you're underwater after an accident, you'll probably be disoriented and not know which way the surface is. Follow the direction of bubbles. Related, if you're underwater in a car, don't try to force the door open against the incoming flow of water. You'll exhaust yourself. Let the car fill. Always carry pepper spray. Alternatively glitter or glitter spray, the finer the better. That tea gets everywhere. It also makes someone easily identifiable. If a brown bear grizzly attacks you, play dead and it will usually go away. Be sure you curl up in the fetal position and put your hands over the back of your neck. Predators go for the neck, aka the kill shot. Brown bears grizzlies are actually more timid than black bears. If a black bear is attacking, fight back like a psycho. Like a f-king madman. Bite. Punch. Kick. Poke. Rip. Scream. Growl. Like a psycho. Black bears are a lot more aggressive than brown bears grizzlies. If you put up a good fight, they are more likely to leave you alone and not kill you. You'll be too much work for them. No matter how much you trained your awesome karate moves, or even the much more realistic Krav Maga or MMA, you have no actual chance to effectively block a knife attack with your bare hands. If you can't run, block with the outside of your arms, away from major arteries, and be prepared to get cut up badly. Might be well known. IDK. But you'll fire instead of help. People are more likely to run and help to put out a fire than to stop an assault. They also have keychains that emit siren-like piercing sound once you pull the chain off and don't stop for a while. That can draw attention too. I got mine for like $7 on campus. Do not add water to a grease fire. Not little known, but it makes sense to repeat it given how bad consequences can be for those who don't follow this advice.